Why hybrid can matter more than remote, visibility, and promotions. So today I'll talk about why you might benefit better from hybrid if you are trying to be seen more, trying to get promoted. We know that if you are naturally working remotely, sometimes it's hard to get a promotion as far as if you're coming in and if you're a freelancer, right? And maybe you're just coming in and maybe you're just helping out in a role. You're covering like a maternity leave coverage or paternity leave, or you're just like backfilling a spot because maybe they're interviewing and the spot is open. So if you are remote, usually they will kind of just keep you there in that remote spot and just for you to like kind of keep the train moving and keep the campaigns running along smoothly, making sure that the ball doesn't drop, confirming that you can work properly with the cross-functional teams and all of that stuff. But if you are, say it's a role and it's a backfill in the sense of like they're hiring for that role, you might benefit better from coming into the office hybrid, basically showing how you can not only own the room, but you can own the meetings, that you're good with, maybe you're doing like the meeting recaps, whatever your role is, just being more visible and in person. Just think about pandemic, right? When everyone was just going into the office every day. So you're kind of being more collaborative. And some people, like maybe they're good on as far as, on email or like Zoom, but their presence online is just different. And think in person and just think about, and I know for myself that I used to, freelance and a role would be posted like the first day or even a perm role. Like one time it was a perm role as well. And I went into the office and I had the interview and like the hiring manager or whoever the director, like they just loved me. Like they loved my energy. They was like, oh my God, you'll be great. This and this and that. I mean, that still happens now, even if the interview is happening basically like over a Zoom, right? Because if they love you, they love you. Because to be honest, they know in like the first 3 minutes whether or not they're going to hire you. Or maybe let me say 5 minutes, right? They have to kind of ask a few questions. But normally they make up their mind before you're off of that call. And usually you'll know because before ending the call, they'll even jump to like what next steps are. But this is about visibility and why you should entertain going into the office. And especially, I even attended an event with one of my groups and, part of like the women of color. And we talked about, especially for, Black women or other women of color, visibility matters for you probably even more just because you want to make sure like you're in the rooms, you are going to those leadership reviews, you are not only inviting, like don't just plan a meeting, make sure that you are showing up into the meeting. And sometimes because I used to do this as well when I was young in my career, even if I was like shadowing or was like CC'd on a meeting, if my calendar was open, I would still make it my business to still attend that meeting. Just to, so that they show like you care about the work, you care about the product, you know what's going on. Because the closer you are to an idea, a product, or a launch, the more metrics you can have, the more you're able to bring things to the forefront, the more you are able to maybe think about ideas that maybe they missed, or just talk about things that you heard, questions that you heard raised in the meeting that kind of fell through. And just about you going in, you attending that meeting, and maybe that turns into you guys going to lunch together, right? Or you have a meeting, though the meeting starts after lunch, but they're inviting you to be part of the lunch, and then you guys are all going to the meeting as well. Those are kind of like some of the perks of going into the office and being hybrid. It also helps with your promotions as well, because the promotion is also you are elevated at the level you're at, and also the rooms you can get into. A lot of it has to do with you being visible. And this is even with like dating, right? Being in certain environments, being around certain people, making sure that you're in the room. And again, being seen like, it's not about being seen, right? Because if you have what it takes and you already have the presence, you're going to be seen naturally. You don't have to like wear anything gaudy or crazy to be seen, any of that stuff. Like, you're going to be seen anyway. And that's what it's about. But knowing how to use those relationships to get into those rooms, because again, a lot of promotion is not only who you know, but how close you are working with the person, or maybe there's an opening on another team. And because you're coming in on that hybrid schedule and you're attending those meetings with different cross-functional partners like marketing, operations, print, maybe there's an opening on that side, even if it's a freelance opening, and your name could easily be, thrown in because you're attending those meetings. And they're like, you know what? I like her. She seems to know what she's talking about. I like how she works. She's very professional. She knows what's going on, and they can use you in that role. Or it's a role like maybe you have 50% of the skills, but the other 50% is because you're personable. Because remember, you need the technical skills for a role, but you also need the soft skills. And this is where companies are kind of gauging you with the soft skills as well. And then the last thing is that you fit into the culture, right? So you need all three of those things to be happening, whether you're coming in for a new role or whether you're trying to get elevated or promoted. And if you work with the same teams, a lot of times, one of the persons you're cool with in marketing, they may say, hey, it's an opening over here, or someone is going on maternity leave, can you cover for her? And maybe you're covering for that person, and then that role, maybe they decide to take longer on their maternity leave, or another role opens up. Because remember, every quarter there's new budgets coming in, or a campaign launches and it does really good and they want you to head it up. So those are different openings that can happen for you as well. So I'm, posting this video as well as part of my career strategy series. And again, why hybrid works for you as far as like visibility, getting promoted, and getting to your next level, unless you are, okay with the remote roles where you kind of just you just need to make some money, or you're a parent and you're just trying to help out your husband, or you just want to make some extra money to like go travel or something. So you don't really care about being seen, being visible, getting into those next rooms. This is more for if you want to be visible, if you want to get promoted, if you want to have your name thrown in, if you want to be in the right rooms with the right people. Because remember, promotion is also proximity and how close are you to the key players. So that's it. So again, if you like this type of content, follow my series. I try to add all of my videos together as a playlist. This will be added to it as well. And hope you enjoy it. And like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye.